few instances in which every witness went to two people have been killed from the ages 14 and 17 from minority groups. The problem is that they've been unaware of the cause of death and not really sure the reason for it. And throughout the community, no one really cares to actually make a difference, make an outcry. And City Hall as well has not even made an effort to make a difference. And there's also been the main problem that it's at a consistent rate in which in 1 month 8 people have been killed, and if this continues, it will just go on, and it's gonna be left.
Alright, so what we plan on doing is like having a candlelight memorial to like raise awareness in the town. We're gonna have it open to the public so everybody knows about all these 8 people who died. Have like the parents, teachers, people who actually know them speak about them, so that the so that the council and like people in the like community and like the police actually care and want to like help out, hire a private investigator to find out like the causes of death and talk to like the doctors and like help out with the police so we can like help and come together and solve this faster and figure out why the deaths are happening. And it's on the neighborhood watch so that like this stuff doesn't happen in like the areas where the people have died and like all around the community, so that nobody else has to go through this pain and lose any child or like any of their friends.
We hope to get media attention through newspapers, through the news as well. Through the memorial service, try to host a hit home, kind of relate to them, and this could possibly one of your cousins, sons, child in general. So kind of raise awareness, and with that, like you said, we'll hopefully start a neighborhood watch, get more people involved.
For the investigation, like, if the investigators can't even figure out why they were killed, if they can't find out the clues to looking at the crime scenes, how are they going to help get us out of having all those murders? Like, they need to figure out, it's their job, they were put in there to do that, figure out how they were killed.
And for the reason that we want to be proactive in the investigation, like going to find out the actual cause of death of the shooting, poison, somebody's poison, it could have been a brawl, because it could be a hate crime, it could be murder, gang violence. We really don't know at this point. And it's been a month, and we haven't had any police investigations. We haven't had any real interest in the subject. So just like in Freedom Riders, the police weren't very cooperative. It took a long time to get them to actually protect the riders. So we're going to anticipate that the police might not jump on this investigation and actually be very proactive in the investigation. So we want to go around the neighborhoods and talk to neighbors and see if they've seen any funny activity. They may have seen burning crosses. They may have seen these kids actually going out and being discriminated against. They may have seen them being in something they weren't supposed to be doing. And they might have been on the corner. We don't know. So that's why we're going to do the investigation ourselves too. Any questions?
Talk around, make sure that they know that it's not just another murder, it's not just another dead body. Like, these are people's loved ones, people that they cared about. That's just a murder.
Alright, so what if you guys go out and start investigating and somebody finds out and then come after you? What are you going to do?
I mean, this is a big problem. I don't want anybody else to really have to lose their family. So I'm willing to put my life on the line to make sure like it's like the greater good. I want the city to be safe. So I'm willing to put my life on the line to do that, to help that process.
Plus, if there's a big group, if we try to get as many people involved in finding out who it is, they might pick off one by one, but I don't really think that they're going to go after the entire group.
What if the police don't want to help because like they're just gonna think it's just another dead kid?
That's why we.
Yeah, that's why we get like the teachers and the family members. If they were good students and like the teachers come and say that, like it's better than just a parent coming up, because every parent's going to say, oh, he was a good kid, or he was my loved one because it was a baby. Like if a teacher comes up and says that he was a good kid, he worked in school, he was actually going somewhere, it's like that might get the police and like the whole council to like pitch in and help. And if the police don't help, then we'll just hire a private investigator to help us.
How are you gonna get the funds?
Like what?
The funds, like fundraising, or
Yeah, we'll fundraise.
You see, usually have like people use that car washes for loved ones. That's what we would do to help support them.
other than if we had to get a private investigator, this wouldn't be so expensive that we couldn't even put up our own money. Because a lot of this is just footwork.
We just have to get-
Neighborhood watch.
We just have to get the word out. The main problem is that nobody cares. We just have to get people caring. That's our main goal, is to get people to care. When people start caring, then the community will do, like the community, the council, the police, they'll do the rest.
And it's a minority group, that's why I said the hate crime. It might not just be, if it were white kids, then it could be a serial killer, it could be something else. So I'm saying, that's why I brought up the hate crime, because it is a minority group, and that is a problem in itself.
So what I liked about what this group did, they broke down the problem, right? They said there's three. The first problem was that we don't know how people died. The solution to that was to hire a private investigator to figure it out. The second problem was that no one cares. City council doesn't care, the community doesn't care. So they say, you know what? We're going to raise awareness. We're going to do an awareness kind of like vigil campaign so people know. But then the third thing is that the deaths are too consistent. And they say once again the solution to that would be public investigator work. So I like that in terms of anything you use from anything you learned in classes or in the readings. Can you guys talk about that process? Or I remember you brought up the fact that you knew so many people that died. So what do you think about this solution as someone who's been affected by some of this?
Like what?
Like, do you think it's a good solution? Do you think this will work?
Yeah, maybe if that would happen to something that people can actually do that, maybe that would stop more of that happening and stuff like that.
And like I said, I brought up the freedom riders.
Any other questions for city councilors? No, well, thank you, great, another great job.